Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Will and welcome to Copper Jacket TV. So today I've got an update for you in regards to three very important topics. These are three major gun bills out of the state of California. We're talking about AB 1078, which is the 3-a-month law. We're talking about the background checks for barrels and SB 704, and of course everybody's favorite AB 1127, the Glock ban. You guys are going to want to hear about it, so stick around. Now, before we get too deep into what's going on here, this video is proudly sponsored by Aura. Listen, big companies with poor security are getting hacked every single day, and your personal information is being sold on the dark web so spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target you. Well, instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, get Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security numbers, across billions of data points like the dark web to alert you about potential identity theft. And every adult on the account, up to 5, gets $1 million in identity theft coverage. That's a total of $5 million per one account. But Aura doesn't stop there. With Data Broker Opt-out, Aura will help you remove your personal identifying information from data brokers and people search sites that sell your information to scammers and thieves. Aura also has 24/7 US-based support, a secure password manager, antivirus, VPN, and more. And you get all that on one app at one affordable price. Now, I personally recommend Aura, and you really have nothing to lose because you could try Aura free for 2 weeks. Check out the link down below or click the link in the description box to try Aura for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. Now, over the past several months, I've done my absolute best to keep everybody updated on the status of these three bills, because to me, these are the three most egregious infringements on your Second Amendment rights currently going through the California state legislature, and each one of them has already passed their respective chambers. So the two assembly bills have already passed the assembly and moved on to the Senate, and the one Senate bill has passed through the Senate and moved on to the assembly. Now, each one has had multiple amendments. They've gone through multiple committees. I've covered some of those committee hearings where a lot of the authors of these bills just basically say that they don't care what the opposition has to say. They don't even care if it violates the Constitution. They'll wait to see what the court does after they pass and so forth. And I've tried to make sure that all of that gets out there. So all of this is in an effort to keep you guys updated on the most current status of, again, the 3-a-month law, the background checks for barrels, and of course the Glock ban. Now, over the past month, there has been the most movement that we have seen on these three bills. They have gone through multiple amendments, multiple committees, and they are pretty much ready for the next chamber to vote on. However, they didn't quite make it in time because on July 18th, which is just coming up this Friday, the California state legislature gets a 1-month summer recess. Isn't that nice? For the rest of the people out there that have to work and don't get a summer break, they actually do get a summer break. So from July 18th until August 18th, everything gets put on hold. So that means over the next month, unless there's a special session, we're not going to hear anything about these three bills. But does it mean that these three bills are done for? Nope, absolutely not. While it looked like these bills were being fast-tracked so they could be passed by the legislature and sent up to the governor's desk before the summer recess, each one of them kind of got held up by amendments and different committees and hearings and things that needed to happen. So what's the current status of these three bills? Well, we'll start off with 1078. That's the one that's going to switch California's law to 3 a month. As you all know, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals just told California that their 1-a-month law was unconstitutional and that you're not allowed to ration or limit somebody's ability to practice one of their constitutional rights. This is one of the bills where the author said basically, hey, look, we think that changing it to 3 works. We'll see what the courts do after we pass it, but we essentially don't care that it's unconstitutional. So that bill has already been scheduled for its next committee hearing on August 18th. So I believe that was last heard on July 8th, so not that long ago. And now it's been rescheduled for its next, and I believe last committee hearing on August 18th. The other two bills, 1127, that would be the Glock ban, and SB 704, those bills were just heard in committee yesterday, and then moved on to their next committee. Now, in those hearings, they basically said the same things. We believe that these are constitutional. We believe they work, and so forth. And they basically just completely ignored the opposition. We had Sam Perez of the GLC was there. We had the GOA that was there in opposition to these bills yesterday. And again, they just didn't care. As a matter of fact, the chair of these committees for each of these said that they supported these bills going through and being sent to the governor's desk. So as of yesterday, those have passed some of their final committee hearings before going to the Senate floor for a vote. So it looks like possibly in August, we're going to get a vote on the final, or a final legislative vote on these three bills. So while you might not hear anything over the next 4 weeks, it looks like by the end of summer, we're going to probably see these sent up to the governor's desk. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these bills are essentially flying through with very little opposition. And so it doesn't give us much hope that these bills aren't going to make it the entire way. They have partisan sponsors, partisan authors, co-sponsors. All of it is coming from one side, and that's the side that holds the supermajority in the state of California. There's just not enough numbers on the other side to mount an effective opposition to this. It's not possible. The numbers aren't there even with 100% opposition. And so again, these bills have just been flying through the process. There have been some amendments that have been made along the way, but these amendments have been minor, and really that's just, you know, about language, and the language that's in the bill. It hasn't been anything that's been substantive that would make these bills ineffective in any way. They're still going to fully infringe on your Second Amendment rights. And while I know that there are some people out there that don't like seeing a bunch of videos like this where we update on the status from one committee to the next, and you know, I keep you guys informed as to what's going on with the bills. They just want to know whether it passed or failed, and that's it, kind of a cut and dry type of video. This is the only opportunity that we have to actually speak up against these bills. This is the only time where people in California actually have a voice and can call or email or write, send letters, whatever it takes to your legislators to let them know that you are in opposition to these bills. This is the only moment. So that's the latest on these three bills. They've all been flying through. They've all passed their most recent committees, and you're not going to hear anything over the next month. The next committee hearing isn't going to be until August 18th. Expect a late summer legislative vote on these three bills. So again, I wanted to let you know so that you understand exactly what's going on and you are up to date and informed as to what California is trying to do with some of your rights. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like is always appreciated as well. And that little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. You all have a great day.